Hello, my wonderful English learners. Welcome back to our storytelling classroom. Today I have an inspiring story about dreams, hard work, and never giving up. But first, let me ask you something. Have you ever wanted something so badly that you were willing to work very hard for it? Maybe you wanted to learn a new skill, start a business, or achieve a personal goal. What were you willing to sacrifice to make it happen? Sacrifice. This means giving up something important to get something else you want more. Today, I want to tell you about Leo, a young man who learned one of life's most important lessons. Nothing is free. This doesn't just mean that things cost money. It means that everything valuable in life, success, respect, knowledge, and even love, must be earned through hard work and dedication. Earned. This means gained or deserved through effort and work. Dedication. This means being committed and devoted to something. Are you ready to meet Leo and discover what nothing is free really means? Our story begins with Leo, a 20-year-old young man who lived with his family in a small house on the outskirts of town. His father, Mark, worked 2 jobs but still struggled to pay the bills. His mother, Claire, cleaned houses for wealthy families to help support the family. Outskirts. This means the outer areas of a town away from the centre. Struggled. This means had great difficulty doing something. Leo also had a younger sister named Sophie, who was only 7 years old. She looked up to her big brother and believed he could do anything. Looked up to. This means admired and respected someone. Every morning, Leo watched his parents work so hard just to survive. He saw the worry in their eyes when bills came in the mail. He heard their whispered conversations about money late at night. Survive. This means to continue living, especially in difficult conditions. Whispered conversations. This means talking very quietly so others can't hear. Leo had big dreams. He didn't want his family to struggle forever. He wanted to build a better life for all of them. But he had no money, no special education, and no business experience. One evening, as Leo sat with his father on their small porch, he shared his dreams. Porch. This is a covered area at the entrance of a house. Dad, I want to start my own business someday. I want to make enough money so Mum doesn't have to clean other people's houses and so Sophie can go to a good school. Mark looked at his son with both pride and concern. Leo, he said gently, dreams are not free. If you want something, you have to fight for it. Start with what you have, even if it's small. But Dad, Leo replied, I don't have anything to start with. Mark smiled wisely. You have your hands, your mind, and your willingness to work. That's more than many people start with. That night, Leo lay in bed thinking about his father's words. He realized that waiting for the perfect opportunity would mean waiting forever. He had to create his own opportunity. Opportunity. This means a chance to do something or achieve something. The next morning, Leo walked around town looking for any way to start earning money. He had an idea. What if he could sell fresh bread to people in the neighbourhood? Neighbourhood. This is the area where people live, including nearby houses and streets. But Leo faced his first big problem. He had no money to buy bread from a bakery, and he didn't know how to bake. Leo walked to the local bakery owned by Mr. Anderson, an older man known for being grumpy and not trusting people easily. Grumpy, this means bad-tempered and easily annoyed. "Excuse me, Mr. Anderson," Leo said politely. "I'd like to buy some bread from you to sell in my neighbourhood, but I don't have money to pay you right now. Could I pay you back at the end of the week?" Politely, this means in a respectful and courteous way. Pay you back, this means return money that you owe someone. Mr. Anderson looked at Leo suspiciously. "Young man, I don't know you. Why should I trust you with my bread?" Suspiciously, this means with doubt and distrust. Leo took a deep breath. "Because I am determined and I will work hard to prove myself. I promise I will pay you back every penny plus extra for your trust." Prove myself. This means show that you are trustworthy and capable. Every penny. This means all the money, even the smallest amounts. Mr. Anderson studied Leo's face for a long moment. Finally, he said, "All right, I'll give you bread for 1 week, but if you don't pay me back, don't come back here again." Leo felt both excited and nervous. This was his chance, but now he had to make it work. If you're enjoying Leo's inspiring journey so far, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe so you can learn English through stories with us. Leo took the bread and walked through his neighbourhood, knocking on doors and introducing himself to his neighbours. At first, many people were hesitant to buy from a young stranger. Hesitant, this means uncertain and not eager to do something. Stranger, this is someone you don't know. But Leo was polite, honest and persistent. He explained that the bread was fresh from Mr. Anderson's bakery and he offered fair prices. Fair prices, this means reasonable costs, not too expensive. By the end of the first day, Leo had sold half the bread. By the end of the week, he'd sold everything and made enough money to pay Mr. Anderson back, plus a small profit. Profit, this is money that remains after you pay all your costs. When Leo returned to pay Mr. Anderson, the older man was surprised. "You actually came back and you have all my money." "Of course," Leo said. "I told you I would." For the next several weeks, Leo continued buying bread from Mr. Anderson and selling it in the neighbourhood. People began to know and trust him, but Leo wanted to do more. One day, a customer said to Leo, "Your bread is good, but do you know what would be even better? If you could bake fresh bread yourself and sell it warm." Warm. This means having some heat, not cold. That evening, Leo approached Mr. Anderson with a new request. Request. This is when you ask someone for something. Mr. Anderson, would you teach me how to bake? I want to learn to make my own bread. Mr. Anderson laughed. Young man, baking is not easy. It takes years to learn properly. I'm willing to work hard and learn, Leo replied. I'll work for free in your bakery if you teach me. Work for free. This means to work without getting paid. Mr. Anderson thought about this. He was getting older and could use help in his bakery. All right, he said, but I warn you, I'm a tough teacher and baking is harder than you think. Tough teacher. This means a teacher who is strict and demanding. Leo's real education began. Every morning at 4 a.m. he would arrive at the bakery to help Mr. Anderson prepare the day's bread. The work was physically demanding and the hours were long. Physically demanding, this means requiring a lot of physical effort and strength. At first, everything Leo tried to bake was wrong. His bread was too hard, too soft, burnt, or didn't rise properly. Leo felt frustrated and discouraged. Burnt. This means cooked too much and turned black. Rise properly. This means to expand and become light and fluffy. Frustrated. This means feeling upset because you can't do what you want to do. Discouraged. This means feeling less confident and hopeful. One particularly difficult morning, after Leo's bread came out hard as a rock, he sat down and put his head in his hands. Hard as a rock. This is an expression meaning extremely hard. Maybe I'm not meant to be a baker, he said to himself. Mr. Anderson, who had been watching, came over and sat beside him. Leo, the old man said, I've been baking for 40 years. Do you know what I learned in all that time? Leo looked up. What? Nothing is free. Not success, not knowledge, not growth. If you want to succeed, you must take risks and learn from every mistake. Every burnt loaf teaches you something new. Growth. This means the process of developing and improving. Take risks. This means do something that might fail but could lead to success. Leo thought about his father's words and Mr. Anderson's advice. He realized that giving up was not an option. Every mistake was teaching him something new. Giving up was not an option. This means quitting was not acceptable. Leo stood up, dusted the flour off his hands, and said, "Let's try again." Dusted off. This means cleaned off or brushed away. After 6 months of hard work and learning, Leo had become a skilled baker. Mr. Anderson was impressed with his progress and allowed him to start selling his own baked goods from a small cart in the town square. Skilled. This means having the ability and knowledge to do something well. Impressed. This means feeling admiration for someone's achievements. Baked goods. This means items like bread, cakes, and pastries made in an oven. Cart. This is a small vehicle used for carrying and selling things. Leo's business started to grow. People loved his fresh, warm bread and began to look forward to seeing him each morning. Leo felt proud and hopeful about his future. But then, something happened that tested Leo's determination. A new bakery opened in town, owned by a man named Eric. Eric's bakery was fancy and modern, with bright lights and attractive displays. Fancy. This means expensive-looking and decorated nicely. Modern. This means new and up-to-date. Attractive displays. This means appealing ways of showing products. Within a few weeks, many of Leo's customers started going to Eric's bakery instead. Leo's sales began to drop, and he felt worried. Sales. This means the number of products sold or the money earned from selling. Drop. This means decrease or become less. One morning, Leo's regular customer, an elderly woman named Mrs. Pattison, came to his cart but seemed hesitant. Regular customer, is this someone who buys from you often? Leo, she said gently, I've been buying bread from you for months, but I went to that new bakery yesterday. Their place is so beautiful and clean. Leo felt his heart sink, but he didn't get angry or give up. Instead, he asked, Mrs. Pattison, what could I do to serve you better? Heart sink. This means to feel disappointed or sad. Serve you better. This means provide better service or products. Mrs. Pattison smiled. Well, your bread tastes wonderful, but maybe you could make your cart look nicer, and perhaps you could learn to make some cakes too. That evening, Leo thought carefully about what Mrs. Pattison had said. He realized that Eric wasn't just his competition, he was his teacher, showing him how to improve. Competition. This means other businesses trying to attract the same customers. Leo spent his savings on paint and decorations to make his card more attractive. He asked Mr. Anderson to teach him how to make cakes and pastries. He worked extra hours to learn cake decorating. Savings. This is money you have kept and not spent. Decorations. These are things used to make something look more attractive. Cake decorating. This is the art of making cakes look beautiful. Instead of complaining about his competition, Leo used it as motivation to become better. Motivation. This is what encourages you to work hard and achieve your goals. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more inspiring English learning stories about success and hard work. After 2 months of improvements, Leo's customers began returning. They appreciated his high-quality products and personal service. Mrs. Pattison told him, Leo, I've seen many young men give up when times get hard, but you didn't. That's why we trust you. High quality. This means excellent and well made. Personal service. This means individual attention and care for each customer. 2 years after starting his business, Leo had saved enough money to rent a small shop. He was no longer selling from a cart, he had his own bakery. His family was so proud of him. Rent. This means pay money regularly to use someone else's property. Leo's mother, Claire, now helped him manage the accounts instead of cleaning other people's houses. His sister, Sophie, now 9 years old, loved helping customers and learning about the business. Manage the accounts. This means take care of the money and financial records. But life had one more big test for Leo. One night, a fire started in the building next to Leo's bakery. The fire spread and damaged Leo's shop, destroying most of his equipment and inventory. Fire. This is when things burn, causing damage and destruction. Equipment. These are the tools and machines needed for work. Inventory. This is the stock of goods ready to be sold. When Leo arrived and saw the damage, he felt heartbroken. Years of hard work seemed to be destroyed in one night. Heartbroken, this means extremely sad and disappointed. He sat on the sidewalk looking at his damaged bakery, and for a moment he felt like giving up. But then he remembered all the lessons he had learned. Nothing is free. Every challenge is an opportunity to grow stronger, and giving up was not an option. Sidewalk. This is the paved path beside a road where people walk. Challenge. This is a difficult situation that tests your abilities. The next morning, Leo took his remaining equipment home and set up a small baking operation in his family's kitchen. If he couldn't bake in his shop, he would bake at home. Remaining. This means what is left after some has been lost or used. Operation. This means a business activity or process. He walked through the neighborhood telling his customers that he was still in business and would deliver fresh bread to their homes. Deliver. This means bring something to someone's house or location. Something wonderful happened. When people in the community heard about Leo's situation, they wanted to help. But they didn't just feel sorry for him. They were inspired by his determination to keep going. Community. This is the group of people living in the same area. Inspired. This means motivated and encouraged by someone's example. Mrs. Patterson organized her neighbors to donate ingredients. Other business owners gave money to help Leo rebuild. Young people volunteered their time to help him deliver bread. Donate. This means give something without expecting payment. Ingredients. These are the items needed to make something, like flour and eggs for bread. Volunteered. This means offered to help without being asked or paid. One day, Mr. Anderson came to visit Leo at his home bakery. "Leo," the old man said, "you've learned something that I took me decades to understand." "What's that, Mr. Anderson?" "You've learned that nothing is free. But you've also learned that when you work hard and never give up, people notice. They want to help someone who helps themselves. Help someone who helps themselves. This means assist people who are already making an effort. After 6 months of baking from home and saving money, Leo had enough to rent a new, better location for his bakery. The community had helped, but Leo had also worked harder than ever. Location. This is a place or position where something is situated. The grand reopening of Leo's bakery was a celebration for the entire town. People came not just to buy bread, but to celebrate Leo's journey and his inspiring example. Grand reopening. This is a special event to celebrate when a business opens again after being closed. Celebration. This is a happy event where people come together to mark something special. The local mayor attended the event and gave a speech. "Leo represents the best of our community," she said. "He shows us that with hard work, determination, and the support of neighbors, Any dream is possible. Mayor. This is the elected leader of a town or city. Represents. This means stands for or is an example of something. When it was Leo's turn to speak, he looked out at all the faces. Customers who had become friends, competitors who had become motivators, and community members who had become his support system. Support system. This is a network of people who help and encourage you. I want to thank each one of you, Leo said. You've taught me that nothing in life is free, not success, not respect, not love. Everything must be earned with hard work, patience and persistence. Patience, this means the ability to wait calmly and not get frustrated. I also learned that failure is not the end, it's just a step towards something greater. Every mistake, every challenge, every setback taught me something valuable. Setback. This is something that delays progress or causes problems. Valuable. This means very useful and important. Leo's father, Mark, stood proudly in the crowd with tears in his eyes. His little daughter Sophie clapped enthusiastically. His mother, Claire, beamed with pride as she watched her son address the community. Beamed with pride. This means smiled brightly because of feeling very proud. Address. This means speak to a group of people. Mr. Anderson, now retired, came forward and shook Leo's hand. You've become the teacher now, Leo. You're teaching all of us what it means to never give up. Retired. This means stopped working because of age. 5 years after that first day when Leo approached Mr. Anderson with no money but lots of determination, Leo's bakery had become the heart of the community. But more than that, Leo had become a symbol of hope and possibility. Symbol, this is something that represents or stands for an idea or quality. Possibility, this means something that could happen or be achieved. Young people in the town would come to Leo for advice about starting their own businesses. He would always tell them the same 4 lessons he had learned. Lesson 1. Dreams require sacrifice. Leo would explain. I worked when others slept. I studied when others relaxed. I saved money when others spent it. Success demands that you give up some things to get other things. Require. This means need or demands. Demands, this means requires firmly. Lesson 2. Failure is your teacher. Every burnt loaf of bread, every lost customer, every setback taught me something new. Don't fear failure, learn from it. Fear, this means be afraid of something. Lesson 3. Help yourself first. People want to help those who are already trying to help themselves. Show others that you're willing to work and they'll support your efforts. Support your efforts. This means assist and encourage your work. Lesson 4. Never give up. The difference between success and failure is often just one more try. When things get difficult, that's when you must work hardest. The difference between means what separates or distinguishes 2 things. Leo's bakery became more than just a business. It became a place where people gathered, where community was built, and where the lesson, "nothing is free," was lived out every day. Gathered. This means came together in one place. Lived out. This means put into practice in daily life. Sophie, now 12 years old, worked in the bakery after school. She had learned from her brother that success comes from hard work and treating customers with respect and kindness. Claire had started her own small catering business, inspired by Leo's example. Mark had been able to quit one of his jobs and focus on his carpentry, which he loved more. Catering business, this is a company that provides food for special events. Carpentry, this is the work of building and repairing things made of wood. The entire family had been transformed, not just by Leo's financial success, but by the values and lessons they had learned together. Transformed, this means changed completely, usually for the better. Values, these are beliefs about what is important and right. Today, Leo's story continues to inspire people in his community and beyond. His bakery thrives, but more importantly, he has created a life of purpose, meaning, and service to others. When people ask Leo about the secret to his success, he always gives the same answer. Nothing is free. Everything valuable in life must be earned through hard work, persistence, and the willingness to learn from failure. But Leo has also learned something else. While nothing is free, the rewards of hard work are far greater than just money. The respect of your community, the pride of your family, the satisfaction of building something with your own hands. These are treasures that no one can take away from you. Rewards. These are good things you receive as a result of your efforts. Satisfaction. This means the feeling of happiness from achieving something. Treasures. These are very valuable and precious things. Leo's story reminds us that we all have the power to change our circumstances, but only if we're willing to pay the price in hard work, dedication, and persistence. Circumstances. These are the conditions and situations in your life. Pay the price. This means make the necessary sacrifices and efforts. The young man who once had nothing but dreams now has everything he worked for: a successful business, a proud family, and the respect of his community. But most importantly, he has the knowledge that he earned it all himself. Knowledge. This is understanding and awareness gained through experience. And every morning, as Leo opens his bakery and the smell of fresh bread fills the air, he remembers his father's words. Dreams are not free. If you want something, you have to fight for it. Leo fought. He won. And he continues to inspire others to do the same. And that, my dear students, is the inspiring story of Leo and his journey from poverty to success through hard work, and determination. Let me summarize our story. Leo was a young man from a poor family who dreamed of building a better life. With no money or experience, he convinced a baker to give him bread on credit, learned to bake through hard work and persistence, overcame competition and disasters, and ultimately built a successful bakery that became the heart of his community. Through it all, he learned that nothing is free. Everything valuable must be earned. Here are 5 key words to remember from today's story. Determination. Having a strong will to achieve something. Persistence. Continuing to try even when things are difficult. Sacrifice. Giving up something important to get something else you want more. Earned. Gained or deserved through effort and work. Community. The group of people living in the same area who support each other. Now, let me ask you. What is the most important lesson you learned from Leo's story? How can you apply the principle, nothing is free, to your own goals and dreams? Remember, Leo's story shows us that success isn't about luck or having advantages. It's about being willing to work hard, learn from failure, and never give up on your dreams. Thank you for joining me on Leo's incredible journey from poverty to prosperity. If you enjoyed learning English through this motivational story, please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and tell me in the comments, what dream are you willing to work hard for? Until next time, remember Leo's lesson. Nothing valuable in life is free, but with hard work, persistence, and determination, any dream is possible. Keep working toward your goals and never forget that every small step forward is progress worth celebrating. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep believing in the power of hard work.